Hi everyone, it's Tony Richards and welcome to the Life Focus. I want to talk for a few minutes today about feeling overwhelmed. I'm getting a lot of people texting me and writing me and calling and during the conversations just saying, Tony, I'm just feeling so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. I'm tired of sitting in the house. I'm tired of not knowing what's going to happen. I'm tired, and I'm feeling overwhelmed. Well, I want to talk with you for just a few minutes because this is something we all feel and we all face. So if you ever find yourself so irritated, so aggravated, and on the edge that it's hard to just be, and let alone be around others, I want you to think about the effects that you're facing right now and that you're going through. The lockdown of the coronavirus has made practically all of us feel overwhelmed at some point. I don't know, Marcia, you may be feeling overwhelmed right now. But just as it's important that we eat and breathe and rest regularly, it's also just as important to take steps to find peace and balance and step away from feeling overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed a lot of times because of the number of contacts in a day. I'll get 300-400 texts and emails and everything that it just gets so overwhelming sometimes because I just can't get to everybody like I'd like to. So I want to look at 5 ways to take away that feeling of being overwhelmed and some steps that I use. Number 1, take small breaks throughout the day. That's right. It's important to create pockets of time to slow down, to check in, to take a step back and just breathe. One of the things that I will do is just sometimes just close my eyes and just pray or just sit there and listen to the sounds of the street or listen to nature or listen to just whatever it might be, music, whatever it might be, just to help me to calm down a little bit. Being on the go all the time, whether for fun or for work, is not conducive to overcoming the feeling of being overwhelmed. So you have to take those little breaks for yourself, at least I do. Second thing I do is apply the 5-minute principle. That feeling, when you look at something and that feeling of being pulled in 1,000 directions by all the to-dos on your list could be significantly reduced if we just applied the 5-minute principle. Now, what is the 5-minute principle? And I try to use this. And anything that can be done in less than 5 minutes is best to do it right away. I look at something, a task or anything, and I say, okay, can I get this done? Emily, I look and I say, can I get this done within 5 minutes? If I can, I try to do it immediately. Don't put it off. Don't say, okay, I'll get to it later, because these little things, these little 2, 3, 4-minute things that you can do and you put off, they all add up. And before you know it, you now have an hour's worth of work. So if I can put that aside, and also it serves as a break as well. So I tell myself, stop procrastinating, and remember, if I can do it in 5 or less, get it done now. And that's what I try to do. You can get a lot more done in 5 minutes or less than you think. You really can. Try it. Try it next time. A third thing that I do is I step outside the box. Now, that can be hard, and let me explain why. Most of us spend our days boxed in. We do. We wake up in a box, our bedroom, inside a larger box, our house. We move from that big box to a mobile box, our car, our subway, a bus, whatever it might be, to get to our next box, our office, a grocery store, the gym, whatever it might be, and so on it goes throughout our day. And a lot of people say they feel boxed in. Well, there's a lot of truth to that. Make a point of stepping outside regardless of weather conditions and look up at the sky on a daily basis and just enjoy it. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Get outside of that box. It's so important. And exhale the pressure and inhale the relief. I try to do that as often as I can, and it does work. Another thing that I try to do is cultivate silence and solitude. Noise is proven to increase irritability, anxiety, stress, and a number of health issues. Everyone needs moments of solitude and silence. There's a reason that exposing people to noise is a well-known form of torture. Many times during the Vietnam conflict in Korea, soldiers were kept up with the lights on and noise going 24/7. And that's all it was, or the noise of just a dripping water on the floor. It will get to you. So take 2 to 5 minutes several times a day to just sit in silence. Sit in silence and breathe. Just breathe in what God has given you. Do it without noise or stimulation of any kind. And the fifth thing that I will do sometimes is focus on what I need to do first. Making decisions, we make decisions all day. We make over 4,000 decisions in a day. Making decisions based on your need forces you to shift from reacting to whatever the world is throwing at you to living and making choices with a purpose. And that's what we want to do. You'd be surprised what a huge difference that makes and how easy it is to overcome feelings of being overwhelmed when you use this as your guiding principle. See, we like to feel we're in control. When we feel we're in control, then that sense of overwhelming sometimes dissipates as well. While we may all feel overwhelmed from time to time in our demanding work and personal lives, employing the above strategies can help mitigate the frequency and extent to which you feel overwhelmed. And I don't want you feeling overwhelmed. Find what is good for you to release that overwhelming feeling. Throwing rocks. I have a friend who she says that whenever she feels overwhelmed, she goes, is in Chicago, she goes outside in the alley, picks up rocks, and whatever that feeling is that's overwhelming her, she takes it and throws that rock and lets it go when she does. Another friend of mine works at a bank, and he tells his people that if they just feel so overwhelmed that they need to scream, go take someone and go inside the vault, close the door because it's soundproofed, and scream. So whatever works, right? So throwing rocks, cleaning, reading, exercising, walking, singing, all great ways that people use to break that feeling of being overwhelmed. Begin today. Start today. Let go of the stress and begin to go forward. Hey, write me at TonyRichardsSpeaking@gmail.com. Check out my website at TonyRichards.net. And I want to remind you that this coming Monday, May 4th, from 8 to 8:30 p.m. in the evening in Eastern Time in the United States, I will be on Zoom. And I'll be on for a half an hour. And if you can join me, please do. It's an open format. Whatever you want to talk about, we have to cap it at 100 people. So the first 100 people that can get on, we will definitely talk with. So, or as many as we can in that 30 minutes. So this coming Monday, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States in the evening on Zoom. More information coming tomorrow and Friday. Have yourself a great day. Don't feel overwhelmed. Take a deep breath. Relax. Step aside. Look at where your future is headed and go forward.